Jim Breuer.
Jim Breuer.
Jim Breuer. Jim Breuer.
Jim Breuer.
What's up with this little? What's going on right there? Yeah, like a little. Oh, that's going on right there. How you doing, Mike? Where are you? Are you in Florida yet?
No, man. This will be the last episode that we do from Jersey.
Oh, I see. You okay?
Yeah, a little. Okay. It's big change. I've always lived in Jersey, so moving on my own, driving. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a nice little adventure.
I think you're ready for it. I think it's your time. I think it's ready to rock and roll, Hammer.
Yeah, man. Hit the road.
Which is good too, because the studio, I got the green screen, and we'll talk about that. And I got some cool video ideas. I'm going to start taking advantage of that. And then we're going to have to up the ante this year. And I am seriously thinking about that little studio at Brian's place. That was kind of a cool thing. So
yeah, we can make it work, man.
I think so. So I have a couple quick announcements. These are big time announcements. Okay. Number one, the Largo show you get the tickets. I don't even know there's any left. However, at least look into it. True Brew Weekend. And right after this, I have another big announcement. Something completely new. True Brew Weekend. You just all blew me away. You blew me away because people, like, a lot of tickets have been bought. People booked the rooms, and it's go time. True Brew Weekend is September in Sarasota. Just go to jimbreuer.com, and those are shows. I think we're doing a silent music night, like with the headphones. We're doing a rooftop, a cocktail hour. It's all different tiers and all that jazz. And of course, Funny How God Works stories. These are real stories of life, which, by the way, I just had the most incredible, powerful story. The conversations that stimulate me with a guy named Joe. He came to see me in Boca Raton. This guy was intense. When I say intense, he said, I really need to talk to you about something, because you talked about, and I knew something was going on. I said, listen, we can't do it here. We got a line of meet and greets and and I'm not gonna concentrate. I'm driving home. Let's do the podcast immediately. And he said, I'm on Patreon. I said, let's go to Patreon and let's have this conversation. And I just hung up. We just turned off like 5 minutes ago, and I had to readjust. It was such an incredible conversation. So deep, such great inner vision, powerful, spiritual on levels that so many of us are connecting on. I got to be honest with you. And so anyway, that'll be on Patreon. It's worth just a month on the Patreon to check that out. So that's your thing. Jump on there. But he's coming to the event as well, the True Brew Weekend. I just want to say thank you. This event spooks me a little. Not didn't spook me, because it's all on me. It's all on the production company that's doing this, Katie and the crew. And yeah, I'm sticking my neck out here. I've never done things just go, you know what, this is our event. Just me and you are going to work on this, and we'll do the whole weekend and plan it and do it the way I want. And between you and I, for this September, I thought, if we, we'll see how it does. I never have expectations whatsoever. I'm already blown away how many people have booked this. I was pretty giddy. And we haven't done anything. All we did was announce it here. We just announced it here and on Patreon. And the Patreon members are like, we want first dibs and blah, 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 blah. And they did. They get first dibs. But this Breuniverse thing is, thank you. Thank you. This is cool. And listen, I'm growing with this as well. So you're going to have to bear my emotions once in a while. I'm very gracious for you trusting what that weekend is going to be all about. And just have a good time. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. So again, that's in September in beautiful Sarasota. You can fly into Sarasota. You can fly into Tampa. Fly into wherever. You can fly into the East Coast of Florida and then drive to the West Coast. I don't know. Maybe going to Disney World. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'll leave that up to you. It should be perfect weather. That I think it's the third week September, just perfect weather in Florida and Sarasota. Sarasota is one of my favorite places. And like I said, I almost moved there. And who knows, maybe I will move there one day. I really enjoy Sarasota. Now, here's the other one. So True Brew Weekend. Tonight, I'll see you guys here, Jackson, Michigan. Joe Sib will be there at the merch table. Go say hello to Joe. And also a very funny comedian, Mr. David Dyer, is going to be there. David Dyer is going to be there. Now, here's the big... There's a couple of things, too. I want to get back into the True Brew. Sorry, I remind myself here. True Brew. I got to talk about Dice. I got to talk about the reaction from, I'm not going to say it was from, but we'll say a deep, deep Christian, which a lot of you guys are here. And then some guy on the internet that's trying to be someone that, had misinformation about me, just speaking all the wrong stuff. Now, here's the event. Joe Sib and I was asked to tour with the band Metallica. Okay, if you have Sirius Satellite Radio, me and Joe Sib did mandatory Metallica and we told our story of on tour with them, how it happened, how I grew up, why did I enjoy heavy metal growing up. I was more about the lyrics and the music and the energy, and it made me think. It was very thought-provoking for me. Was it a bit goofy of me to? Yeah, of course it was. Just like all well manufactured, but there were others that really, really made me think deeply. At least that's how I felt. And then that journey of seeing Metallica for the first time, I know I saw a revolution. I saw a revolution in a style of music I've never seen in my lifetime. And we get into that whole conversation and then how that kind of molded me with certain songs and certain lyrics and stuff like that. And then, years later, I become friends with band members, like close friends, or kids grew up together and stuff like that. Not just like, hey, how you been, blah, blah. It was a family thing and very personal. And then to go from that to touring with the band for their Hardwired tour, 2018 and 19. So that whole journey, which I filmed the whole thing. So I'm doing a one-man show, and all you guys that are really into this, and there's a lot of you into the rock side, and even if you're not into it, you're going to love this. So we're doing a one-man show with footage, lighting. It's not stand-up. This is not stand-up. Is it funny? Yeah. There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of me acting things out. Very funny that are stand-up-ish, but this is more of going to see a one-man theater type of show. It's going to have a cool vibe with a DJ. He's going to set so from the minute you enter this venue, you're going to already be in the mood with the pictures and the lighting and the music and conversations all the way leading up to the actual event that I will present with special guest Joe Sib. So it is called Ride the Laughter. Ride the Laughter Tour. And the Ride the Laughter Tour, yes, is a takeoff of Metallica's Ride the Lightning album. And I sent the poster, the art, and all that stuff to Metallica members to say, hey, are you cool with this? Are you? And I got thumbs up. I'm still waiting for everyone. Didn't hear from each one. When I get a thumbs up from everyone, then we know we're 100% good. So this is officially going down. This is the announcement. They're making the official announcement today. It was 10 a.m. that the Ride the Laughter Tour will start August 3rd in New York City, the Gramercy. There's only 400 seats there. So it's going to go like that. It's going to go immediately. And if you're a Metallica fan, Metallica is playing the next night, the night before, I believe. Or actually, no. We're the Thursday, so Metallica's playing that Friday, and they're playing that Sunday. With their stadium tour, with the new music and their new set and all that jazz. So it's at the Gramercy Theater, August 3rd, New York City. Ride the Laughter. Now here's the tickets. All right. Live Nation pre-sale Wednesday, May 17th. Okay. So May 17th at 10 a.m. A little more than 24 hours, you can get the pre-sale. Wednesday, May 17th at 10 a.m. is the second the tickets go on sale. And it ends Thursday, May 18th at 10 p.m. Okay? Now, public is Friday, May 19th at 10 a.m. So that's when everyone get it. My biggest suggestion, just go to jimbreuer.com. We're going to have everything right on there. We're going to be in the socials, all that jazz. It's going to be there. And who knows, maybe we can try to pull, I don't know if the band members will be in New York City that night, but you never know. I know two of my fans are flipping out right now because they're big Jim Breuer and Metallica fans. And she comes to all the shows at the Paramount along with another one. So I know they're immediately like, oh, we're going to Ride the Laughter Tour. Now, after this event, which you will see, then the tour with dates will hopefully be announced. And we're hoping a lot of cities. A lot. Now, again, this is not a stand-up tour. The stand-up will be very definitive. It will clearly say Jim Breuer stand-up comedy. Jim Breuer Ride the Lightning is this one-man rock show. I'm not bringing a band. It's not a band, and we're playing blah blah. I'm talking with the director now, and you know, there was a part where he's like, you know, maybe you do Metallica something. Like, listen, I'm not. And even there, there was one night we were in Las Vegas where I got to sing forever, wherever we may roam. Maybe we'll get that footage. Maybe we play it. Maybe I sing along to. I don't know. But I will tell you, I'm pretty stoked about this show. I'm pretty stoked about it. It's going to be fun. And you're going to hear stories that I just haven't told that are pretty awesome, pretty cool, pretty in-depth. You know, we rode on the bus with all the guys' personal techs, which were so amazing. Just so amazing to be on the bus with James Hetfield's tech, Lars Ulrich's tech, Kirk Hammett's tag, Rob Trujillo's tag, all of them. It was the sound guy. It was just everything that makes that machine work. We were with them for 36. It was absolutely incredible. What a journey. The stories, so many funny stories, all real stories, great footage. I mean, they allowed me to bring my own film guy. I said, film your experience of dealing with all this. I can't. They were so giving that I can never thank them enough. And I keep saying it was one of the best gigs I ever had in my entire lifetime. And I truly mean that. I truly mean that. And you're going to get to experience those feelings, those emotions, those stories, and that journey. August 3rd at the Gramercy Theater, Ride the Laughter Tour, which is just the beginning of many of these shows. Where and when, we don't know. I'm thinking we've been discussing most likely it would hit later in the year rather than earlier in the year. Definitely later in the year rather than when I say earlier, like August. The next shows are not going to be September, October. Most likely they're going to be November, December, maybe even into January. I don't know. But I like to give plenty of time for people to see what they're getting, know what's going on, and go, oh my God, I want in on this. So there you go. True Brew Weekend tickets are flying. Hotels are being booked. The hotel room that's all attached to jimbrewer.com. Jackson, Michigan is tonight at the Optimus Ice Arena. And May 8th is the announcement for the tour I just told you about. And the pre-sale Wednesday, May 17th at 10 a.m. to May 18th. And then May 19th, 10 a.m. Everyone gets the whole shebang. Boom. Now, just a quick laugh. I don't care if you're a fan or not a fan, if you know who this person is or you don't know who this person is. I grew up watching Dice when he first came out. And what I love what he's doing now, he makes these videos and they make me, I can't stop laughing at him. So many of them are so funny. He did one a couple days ago, and I must have watched it 10 times. It made me laugh so hard. Not so much as the first part is hilarious. The second part, just the awkwardness. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to do it, and I love that he's tapping into this, and I just can't get enough. Mike, you have these videos that I was cracking up at. All right, this is the first one. Watch this guy.
You wanted one with, you saw me, you wanted one?
Of course, I have one. Not that good, but
No, with the trophy, the face, me.
See this guy, he's like, this one. All right, now when I watch it, I don't want to switch this. Look at
Did you see the guy with the peacock?
no, I
Guy with his camera, and I just went and he starts fucking running. I couldn't fucking do, I'm like, well, what happened over there? I just can't take it anymore.
It makes me laugh so hard that he's like, there's another one where he's going, he's calling the guy, I don't know the guy's name, but he's like, let's say it's Lou. He's like, Lou, and the guy's like, what? Lou, remember? But in this one, just the fact that he's like doing the whole crack, he brings up Peacock And the guy with the peacock, can you play it one more time for me? This one. He come alligator. Listen to that.
With did you see the guy with the peacock?
No, I
Guy with his camera, and I just went and he starts fucking running. I couldn't fucking do, like I'm like, what happened over there? I can't take it anymore. Man, you see,
he goes, you see the guy with the cigarette? You see the guy, this is peacock. And these two are on the bench, like, oh, we don't. They don't know if he's homeless. They don't know if he's crazy. They don't know what's going on. And he's just laughing, talking about the peacock, and it's the camera, and they're like, thank you, Dice. Thank you. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. I was debating something. So one of the listeners, one of you, were upset about somebody trashing me. Okay. So first I said, well, who is this person? And they say the name. And I look up the name. The name doesn't even come up on Google. All right, so I said, well, send me a link. And they send me the link. And then I watch them. I say, he's got like 20,000 views, but whatever. So as I'm watching this person, I don't know if it's whatever. I want to clear some stuff up for people like this person. And I went back and forth. I asked them to be on the podcast. I said, I'll gladly come on your podcast. And they didn't. I reached out on Instagram. I don't think they got back to me. Annie said they got back, but they didn't. Nothing's really happening. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, do I really want to give this person a platform? Do I really want to? Because here's what I got out of it. All right. So this person plays, first of all, they're trying to be the new, they're trying to be like, from what I gathered, a left-wing, and I don't know this. This is just what I get out of it. I was like, oh, okay, they're trying to be the shock, because they clearly say, let's stir the pot, okay, let's start trouble, which already is like, in today's society, do we need more troublemakers? Like, is that your entertainment? Your entertainment is just starting trouble. Maybe it's my age. That exhausts me, if that's how you got to get attention and all that. Now, so he plays a clip. He wants to play a clip of me and Joe Rogan on together, and whatever. He's making fun of me trying to come up with. I could care less about them making fun of me. I really can. That doesn't bother me. The part that drives me insane is the continuation of so many people that have no clue what they're talking about, and they label people, and they have zero to back it up. That drives me. Now, first of all, he's wearing it. He's a character. He's wearing an outfit where he thinks he's like the Tucker for the other side. He's trying to be funky. And I'm going to assume he's old enough that maybe I don't know if he's a comedian. I don't know who he is. I don't know who this person is. So this person's like, let's see what Jim Brewer has to say about. It's 2 days. Let's see what Jim Brewer has to say about this Crowder incident. Since he's all part of his team now, and he's saying that, and then he goes, Jim Brewer. Okay, first of all, no one knows who Jim Brewer is. Jim Brewer decided he's going to be a right-wing comedian. And this is where a lot of people are missing the mark. I have never ever, let me repeat that, I have never, ever announced I'm a right-wing comedian. I do comedy that I believe is just common sense. And over the last couple of years, for all you that got branded with your cattle on your back, that's a conservative. That's a Nazi. That's a liberal. That's a troll. You're doing that. You're doing that. You're falling for that. Do right wingers follow me? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But what is your definition of a right winger? A conservative? I'm anti-politics. I've made that clear. And no matter what platform I go on, whether it's Gutfeld, whether it's Crowder, whether it's Joe Rogan, whether it's whoever, I stick to what I say and what I always say. I never said, I'm a right-wing comedian and I don't do politics in my show. This week I was talking about the set was the drag queens and the kids, which we talked about last week on last week's podcast. I came out right out of gate. Now, is that right wing? So, and this person's like, the deal. I don't have a deal with Crowder. I made that very clear. I called Steve Crowder when he had that negotiation thing and he read the contract between him and the other two and that other company, right? And then we talked personally. I have good personal conversations. That's between me, him, and party involved, not for the public to know. Just like me with whether it's with my wife or my friend or my neighbor, no one needs to know private conversations. Now, and they were always very positive and all that jazz. And then he was, in my opinion, very excited about the direction he was going. He said, yeah, I want to get you on board, blah, 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 blah. And I made it very clear, hey, man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure things out. I like what you're doing. I like what's going on. I like your production company, which I do. I've been in the chair and I've been on a show and I enjoy it. I've not had a bad experience yet. Someone else has whatever. Me. I'm going to stick to me. All right. I don't have a signed deal with anyone. I don't have a deal in the works. I have offers. I have offers from multiple platforms. And the more I look at them all and I think about my whole life, I don't join teams. And some people will say, well, that's my demise. So be it. I don't have a problem with that. I enjoy almost every team. I give every team a listen. So to this person, which, hey, your outfit, love your shtick. I love your shtick of trying to be shocking and just spewing things out about things you don't know and you have no clue on. I get it. It's never been done before. So, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to put this person's name out there because they don't deserve it. In my opinion, they don't deserve it. I'd be doing them a favor, but I did offer, I will gladly come on and have a long conversation with you on air. You can film because I got nothing to hide. You can ask all the questions that you think. And what was funny is like this person had it sounded like a younger female in the room, and she was like, hey, 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 hey. It's like no one in the room. They think this guy is their ticket to. They think this is their ticket. This guy. Meanwhile, he's got his outfit, his character outfit, his character that he's doing. He's doing a character. There's no substance. His substance is nothing. He's got zero substance in his performance. Is his character interesting? Yes. But to clear the air, I don't have deals anywhere. And I've never announced. What he may be referring to is a while ago when I did Clay Clark Reawaken American tour, and I did a set. Somebody immediately tweeted out, the right just got funnier. Well, I didn't do that. And I immediately text Clay Clark. And I said, hey, man, let me be upfront with you about something. I'm not here to say nobody claims me. You don't get to claim me. So whoever tweeted that and got that photo, did it, I just want to if it's in the camp, don't ever do that again. Don't do that. Because I'm not here to piss a side off or say I joined this side and the other side can eat it. Because that's not what's going to bring everyone together. I said, I'm here to enlighten lives. I'm here to speak what I feel will be helpful to many people. And that's what I do. And Clay Clark has done, really has opened the door for me to so many people. And I can't thank that man enough. And so has so many other people in my lifetime. Back in the day, Howard Stern, when I say back in the day, Howard was replaying me over and over and over. He did tremendous for me. Rogan says something, or this one says something. Many people do many things for me. And I always stay the course, no matter who I'm on. If you listen to old Howard Stern interviews, you will hear I stay the course. I believe and say the same things that I say today with my morals, my views, my spirituality, my faith. Just because a headline grabbed you and you didn't look into it, that's on you. Not me. That's on you. You're the banana still in the matrix. You're the banana still believing everything you see and read. You're the one that's being controlled with the emotions of a headline. I remember doing one of Clay Clark's gigs, and I was talking about conspiracy theorists. How I have a close friend. Everything's about conspiracy theorists. They're like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. And it's like, I go, hey man, do I say what you are? Like, what drives you nuts? And so I was doing a bit where whatever, and the headline says Jim Brewer, and they use the word Christian and hate and that's what demons do. They create headlines to discredit you. No, and I got messages like, I'm Christian and I really no, you're not. Why would you even label yourself as that right out of the gate? I'm a Christian and I can't believe you said, oh, really? Really? I'm sorry. Are you Jesus? All your thoughts are Jesus. All your actions are Jesus. Everything you do is Jesus. I'd like to look into that, because those people that reached out are the same ones that judge thou shalt not what? And they're the same ones that didn't look into the entire situation and the entire thing that was said and the entire routine. They believed the headline. The idolization. Well, false idols. Well, a headline is also a false idol. Headlines are false idols. They're meant to emotionally grab you, stir you up, control you, and now maneuver you. And more people are starting to discover that. So, listen, I'm trying to be careful too with things I follow and this and that. And just because I follow it or just because I go on a platform, it doesn't mean that's why I'm all invested. You know, if you want to go the Jesus Christian route, well, then in your own words, he walks amongst everybody. And so do I. So do I. Because that's how you get things done. If you're a liberal and you refuse to acknowledge anything on the other side, well, then you're never going to get things done. Same thing if you're conservative, right wing, left wing. You're never going to get things done. Ever. You're just going to continue in chaos. Controlled chaos. Disorder. How do you own disorder? Disorder. Boom, ding, doom, bing, doom, ding, ding. It is what? Listen to System of a Down. System of a Down. You know that song, Mike?
Toxicity.
Toxicity. Can you can you pull that up in front of you right now? Toxicity, the lyrics, because we can't play it.
Yeah.
The part about disorder. How do you create disorder? How does it go?
Let's see. Disorder.
Eating seeds. Right, eating seeds. It's a pastime.
Activity. The toxicity of our city. Our city. You. What do you own? The world. How do you own disorder?
How do you own disorder? I'll tell you how you own disorder. By you still believing in headlines. By you still believing that banana on TV. By you still believing the radio host. That is attached to whatever label they have. So, be careful. Be very careful. Which brings me into this other heavy subject. You know how in the beginning of the show I told you about this guy Joe that came up to me at the show? And this one hits very close to home. I truly believe, I know we are deeper connected, and it's completely clouded, and I don't know what it is. I sometimes I just say it's evil. It's just evil spirits, and a lot of people don't believe in evil. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Evil's right up the street for you. It's in your neighbor's yard. It's your government. It's many things. It's everything. It's everywhere. Evil exists amongst us. Good and evil. Good intention, bad intention. So the True Brew weekend, right? Between you and I love to see people healed by deeper connections. That's not religion. That's not religion. That's why I talk about the Maria's crew, the coffee shop. I told the stories of my lifetime, the Kristen story, and my brother, and my sister, and Farley, and so many others. So many others. So what excites me about the True Brew weekend is yes, I'm putting it together with Katie. I can't wait for the breakfast. The show stuff's easy. I can't wait to share stories with people that really want to hear them, really want to listen to them, because they can relate. We need to start relating to one another. We are relatable. If you allow it, if you open your mind, if you open your spirit, if you open your heart, and don't write something off because you can't grasp it, you can't acknowledge it. So I go up to this person, and they label themselves as Christian. Okay. And I said, I'm pretty excited about this True Brew weekend. They said, why? I said, well, I can't believe, I can't believe, A, that how many tickets have been sold already, but B, how many are already attending the breakfast. And I said, what's the breakfast? I went, well, I'm calling it Funny How God Works. Or, I have a guy on Patreon, Mark, who comes up. Well, he came up with a cool term called God winks, which is another cool term, like a God wink, which is really you acknowledge moments in your life, like, wow, that comes from somewhere deeper, somewhere just deeper connected. And those of you who experienced a deeper connection in life know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't, I hope you get to one day. I hope you get to experience that. So I said, man, I'm going to tell these God stories. And the person immediately said, what kind of God stories? And I went, well, experiences I had. And they said, well, oh, this is what they said. I said, what day is that? I said, it's Sunday morning. And this person goes, I would hope that most of your listeners would be going to church on that Sunday. And I got really mad. And I went, well, how do you know that's not church? If you believe in Jesus, Jesus didn't create a church. He didn't go to a church. So what are you talking about? Well, I said, you can go to church anyway. We mean church right now. Right now. I didn't take a walk. I'll be in church. And they were like, well, you need to push them in that direction. I went, man, this is what I'm saying. You can't label yourself. And then if you're going to label yourself, you can't demand and expect the world to think the way you do and learn the way you do. And if not, you write it off. Because if we're all trying to get to the mountain over there, you took a helicopter. Like, you got it through this and you whatever, however you got there. Some people are walking up it and trekking. Some of them are mountain climbing. Some of them never even acknowledge the mountain. But I know that lives are affected when you tell something deeper to someone, and you hit them in a manner that they cry of tears, they cry of healing, they feel the deeper connection, and they know the deeper connection. Because that resonates with humanity. And You know, I even heard some of the murmurs of certain, and I'm trying real hard to keep quiet because I've performed, I've been on stages, and I'm all for people finding faith, and I'm all for people finding the deeper spiritual outcome, and I am a hard believer from experience, my experience, of the deeper energy of a creator, of whatever it becomes. Am I an expert? I can only tell you what I know. I can only tell you what I experienced. And this person, like, well, you have to point them to, like, unless you're doing it to Jesus, then it's just a way. I said, listen, that's your role. If you want to take that role, and that's your role. But if you're in an army, there's many different roles. There's soldiers, there's recruiters, there's snipers. There's all different part that are all in one war to get to the same place. So stop worrying and stop judging if people, like, I'm telling you, I've been on, when I started going on the road, I'd feel weird, and I'd start telling, I tell the bus driver a story, and that guy would be like, man, it was this black dude. I can't remember his name. He was such a, I have to ask Shock. He was such a, we loved that guy. We only had him for like a week and a half. And he'd be like, Jim, that's testimonials. You telling testimonials. And I went, what's a testimonial? He said, that's when people speak the word, the truth. I said, what are you talking about? Because, man, it's from the Bible. And I went, but it happened. And I don't know that part. He's like, man, I'm just telling you, man, that's grace or that's whatever. But he was touched. Wow. And then he'd encourage me to tell the next person. And then the more people I told real stories, I remember being in this bar years ago. It was in Chester, New Jersey. And one of my friends, Dennis, was there. And he grew up Catholic. He grew up Irish Catholic. It's like so many people. And he goes, yeah, no, I don't believe it all. I don't believe it. And his religion's nonsense, and religion's just BS, and it's a cover up for a really dark community to hide and manipulate and do things. And this is what he was saying, or this is what he thought. And to be quite honest with you, whether it's fact or fiction, a lot of people feel that way. And so people are like, no, it's not all. Whatever. You can't deny people how they feel. So I started telling him, I go, yeah, I was never a church guy. I always felt weird in church. But I feel like I had very godly experiences. And I tell him one, and I tell him another. And I remember we weren't even 40 minutes into it, about 40, 45. And we were just captivating conversation. He went, no, I can relate to that. So, that I can relate to. And what that did was wake up a light inside him and kept mine going. And he actually started, it was pretty incredible. And that has happened over and over and over, which is why I tell the stories here. It's one of the reasons why I started doing the podcast. Yes, we'll be entertaining. Yes, I have very funny bits coming. But yeah, once in a while, I like getting heavy. I like talking about this stuff. And then, if you think it's stupid and wacky, that's fine. It's totally fine. But I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable talking about it. You can label me and call me cool. I don't care. I lived it. I'm sharing it with you. And that really bothered me. That certain people that'll label themselves will get so offensive or offended if you go, well, unless you're doing this, then, like, listen, man, I know my relationship. I'm sorry, I didn't use the book. I don't know the book very well. I don't deny the book, but I've used it. I've had people talk about it, a little thing saying, you know, this person's like, you can't just pick and choose. Like, what are you talking about? Pick and choose what? What you believe, what you don't believe. I'm just here to wake up an entire population that doesn't realize what's inside of us all and our potential and how distracted that this man-made world has made us. It's distracted us with entertainment, distracted us with news, government, and everything. Keeps you spinning 24/7. When you really take the time and we dig a little deeper, we all have potential to change one of our. We all have potential to change one of another lives, to be better, not for just us, but for so many other people. Get rid of the labels. If you're in it to help someone, if you're in it to enlighten someone, if you're in it to encourage someone, if you're in it to make people realize there's a deeper spirit and a soul inside us, and so be it. Let everyone grow at their own pace, including me, my listeners, and everyone else involved. I'm not out to harm anyone. And from what I'm gathering from the listeners that I've been reading about and looking the messages and getting the messages, neither are they. And it shouldn't intimidate anybody. It shouldn't intimidate anybody. But just I'm going to stay the course, man. I'm going to stay the course. Stay the course. And I can't wait for that True Brew weekend. This is something I've been planning to do half my life, if not all of it, to start sharing all this like I do here on the podcast, because what's the worst that can happen? You go, this is stupid. That's the worst that can happen. The worst that can happen is you go, I don't want to listen to this nonsense. Fine. Fine. I don't have an issue with that. I get it. I respect it. I'm fine with it. But there's a lot of people ready for it. And I can't wait to share it. So that's all I got for today. I'm going to start watching those Dice videos again. Start cracking myself up. Thank you, Dice. Thank you, everyone. True Brew Weekend. Can't wait. JimBrewer.com. Tickets are on sale now. They're going way quicker than I anticipated. And all I could think about is, this must be from the podcast. I mean, I don't know. So thank you. Thank you. See you tonight. I'll see you tonight, Jackson, Michigan. I'm looking forward to tonight. The Gramercy Theater, August 3rd. Ride the Laughter Tour. Tickets pre-sale May 17th. And then public May 19th. You guys are the best. Thank you for everything. Can't wait to next week. Thanks for joining me on the Breuniverse, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Take a look around and what do you see? Mark the date down tonight, we'll make it history.
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concert streamed once a month. Weekly, you host your own podcast and you interview me. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week, and have bonus footage and bonus segments. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.